Hey, it's me, MLV. Here is chapter 33 of Why You, Why Me, titled Us. Seriously? You screeched. Him? Yes, dear, she chuckled. Is that a problem? No, you hurriedly replied. Not at all, it's just he's famous. Well, he used to be famous, you said. Bakugou had filled you in on Gran Torino's background. He used to be a working hero, but he never got much coverage by the media, hence why Grandma hadn't seen him up until now. So are you two going to see each other? You pried with a suggestive eyebrow wiggle. Your grandma chuckled. Well, I would like to, but it takes two to tango, she added with her usual flair. I think he likes you too, Grandma, don't worry. He wouldn't have asked about Grandpa if he wasn't interested in dating you, he said with a gentle smile. Heavens, dating? Grandma said, placing her hand on her cheek in mock shock. It's been so long since I dated. You'll be fine, Grandma, you laughed. It's just like riding a bike. Once you get the hang of it, you never forget, your grandma ended the saying for you. True, but if I do forget, I know who to come to, she winked at you. You smiled. Yep, I'll be here as your guru of dating, you said playfully, fists on hips adopting a hero pose. Grandma laughed. Good to know. Thank you, Guru. You're welcome, you said with a smile. Well, I'm off to bed now. Sweet dreams of Gran Torino, Grandma, you giggled. Oh, stop it, she laughed. Good night, Yin. Bakugou came over to see you after school the next day, and the two of you went up to your room. Bakugou had the usual agenda on his mind and initiated a heavy make-out session, which you gladly succumbed to, relishing in his kisses. Oh, hey, I have something to tell you, you said to him, pushing him off your face a bit so that you could catch your breath and talk. In a second, he replied, trying to recommence Operation Eat Face. No, now, you giggled, fighting to hold him at bay. He entertained your wriggles and tried to pin you down playfully while you struggled to get free. You managed to roll over onto your stomach and tried to press up off the bed. Oh, you like it from behind, do you? He mumbled into your ear as he smirked. And what if I do? You replied provocatively to tease him up a little bit more. Oh, it's hot, he growled, grinding his hips into your backside. You could feel that he was well and truly excited from the conversation, and you giggled. You're so easy to get hot and bothered, Katsuki, you said, turning your head to look at him. Only when it comes to you, he replied, kissing you down your cheek and neck. What do you have to tell me? He asked, pushing off you. I'm thinking of heading back to school to complete my final year, you said proudly. Since the accident and seizures, you hadn't attended school, and it had been a year now since you'd stopped your education. Seriously? Awesome, he said, grinning at you. Which school? Well, there's a school just around the corner from UA that I've applied for. I submitted a hardship form, so hopefully that plays in my favour. You smiled weakly. I cycled through thinking I'm doing the right thing to maybe this isn't such a good idea. Bakugou leaned down and kissed you again. It's the right thing. You'll be fine. I'm here for you too. You smiled up at him. Who would have ever thought the great Bakugou Katsuki would ever be this soft? You winked. I'm not soft, what the hell? He scrunched his nose up in abhorrence, completely and utterly offended at being called such a despicable word. You laughed heartily and sat up. Come on, softy, let's go get some snacks. Don't call me that, he seethed as you got up off the bed and walked to the bedroom door. Sorry, cat softy, you leered back at him. That's it, he growled, jumping up and making small explosives in the palms of his hands. You screamed and flung the door open, but caught yourself before you barreled into Grandma. She was all dressed up, and you stopped and looked at her. Oh, you look nice. Are you going out? You questioned her. She stuck her hip out and acted like a teenager. Yes, Mum, I'm going out. What does it look like? She finished with an eye roll just for good measure. You fell apart laughing. Grandma, you're too funny, he said, wiping a tear of laughter from your eye. You got a date, Grandma? Bakugou asked from behind you. Yes, I do, actually, she said, eyes sparkling. You gasped. Is it Gran Torino? It is, isn't it? You squealed with excitement and clapped your hands. Shh! Grandma shushed you harshly. He's in the living room. He'll hear you. You clamped your hands over your mouth and giggled. Your grandma was being so cute right now. Have fun on your date, Grandma, you whispered between your fingers, still hands over your mouth. Thank you, dear, she whispered back. Don't kiss on the first date, Bakugou added. You don't play by your own rules, do you? You asked him quizzically, craning your head back over your shoulder. He smirked and shrugged. Can't help it if my date's smoking hot. You blushed and looked away, clearing your throat. You two are adorable, your grandma chimed in after watching you two interact. You smiled shyly and took her hand to walk her down to her date, and Bakugo followed behind. Gran Torino wasn't in his hero costume this time, and he looked just like a regular old man, but he was so cute the way he acted with your grandma. You would have thought that they were teenagers again. You and Bakugo, plus the rest of your family, saw them off at the gate and wished them a lovely date. Then your family left you two at the gate and went back inside. Wonder why those two hit it off so quick, Bakugo inquired aloud. He wasn't asking anyone in particular, but you decided to reply him anyway. Oh, didn't you know? He's her soulmate, you said proudly. What? He asked. It's a long story, he said dismissively. Involves body swapping and weird stuff like that. Bakugo looked at you dumbfounded. No way. As in, yep. And they? Yep. Crazy. Yeah. You stood smiling at him for a few more seconds before leaning up to kiss him. Katsuki, I don't know why it was you or why it was me, but I'm so glad it was us. Me too, baby. Me too. The end. And that is the end of Why You, Why Me. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next book.